about the start you guys got off to today?
I think it was a pretty good start. Started off, with getting in rhythm on our offense and some defensive stops.
You hit some big shots in that, but your defense too was incredible tonight.
Thank you. I was just going out there. I was really focused, and in the past couple of games we weren't so good on our defensive end, so we were really focused, and we just try to go out real quick and get them out of their rhythm and make sure that we was pretty good.
It seems weird that a team with 111 straight wins had kind of redemption as a theme, and you personally kind of, in terms of this team owning this season, not relying on the 3 All-Americans you had last year. Was that kind of a theme for you guys this year, and the chip on your shoulder, and do you take more pride in this one than the others you've had?
No, yeah, it was definitely a chip on the shoulder. We lost some 3 incredible girls, but this year we just had to prove everybody wrong in that we can do it. So that's why in each and every practice we challenged each other to get better throughout the season.
So is there a little more pride in this one than a little more ownership of it than in the past?
I would say yeah. I'm just really excited for this group of girls, and I'm excited to actually be on the court and helping it any way and contributing, and it feels really good.
Thank you very much, Saniya.
Does it get old? This is your you're a senior, this is your 4th straight Final Four.
It never gets old, not one bit. I can do it a million times, and it would never get old because it's just a very special thing.
Obviously, you talked about joining the Big 3
Yeah.
before, but obviously I know you're not going to look ahead. But just kind of what would that mean to you if you were able to do that?
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot to me just to be, also part of history and just, having that 4th one on my shoulder. And it's just how proud they are of us for accomplishing this.
We basically, we did it, we got to 100, and whatever happens, that happens now. But right now our only goal is just going to Dallas and taking care of business.
What did you pick up from the scout that you denied them so many things that you wanted to do, and what exactly were those kind of things that you focused on early defensively to set a tone?
We definitely wanted to limit their threes and disrupt their offense, and I think our switching really allowed us to take away passing lanes that they were trying to get to, and it might have rattled them a little bit. So just trying to make them rely on attacking the basket, but us having help there was really our main goal.
How much does the defense come along, Lou? Gino's on you guys all the time saying you're not a good defensive team, but time and time again you come up with pretty good performances.
Oh yeah, I think today we kind of took it to heart, especially that our first 3 games weren't great on defense, and I think the biggest thing is that we didn't want our season to end tonight, so we knew that we had to, and at this point there's no, from here on out, there's no saying like, oh, it was just a bad defensive night. And we need to continue to do what we did tonight every single game.
You said that the happiest group of people are in this room, but your dad's got to be up there too, right?
Oh yeah, my whole family is probably up there. My sister actually cried when Carly won, so it's pretty exciting.
Napheesa got her 1,000 points tonight, first time 2 sophomores have done it in the same year, 7 overall. Just talk about what she has done all year to get to the level to be a first-team All-American. What has been the key for her?
I think she's just gotten confidence, and she feels confident that every shot is going in. We joke, we think, why do teams we go up and she's going to make every shot? And there were times today where she was like, I was so wide open that I was like, wow. But if teams are going to continue to do that, we're happy because I trust her to make every shot she shoots.
Coach kind of kills you about your defense too, but you were part of this as well tonight. And as I told you last time, you're a better passer than you get credit for too.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. I tried to focus on my defense today, and trying to get in passing lanes like everyone else. And Coach still won't think I'm a good defender, and he probably never will. But I'm glad that I could contribute that way today.
What did you tell him when he said 10 straight Final Fours?
What did I tell him? I said, you suck. Yeah, he told me, I was like, yeah, you suck. You're not very good at this.
That's just great. One of the things, when Saniya came out, I thought, as much as applause for her, I thought the cheers for her were the loudest. I don't know, whatever, it's a subjective thing. for her to do it, for her to leave Connecticut the way she did, become the winningest class, what has she shown you this year that maybe you didn't see last year?
Really is taking over our team, that leadership in the point guard role, and we feel confident every single day in practice, every game, that she's going to produce for us no matter what it is. She doesn't have to put up big numbers. She doesn't put up any numbers at all, any scoring points at all, and we still think she had a great game. So she's come a long way from this.
You know how tough and how competitive Sabrina is for playing with her. How about the job Kiana did on her today?
Oh yeah, Kia did a great job today, and we definitely tried to frustrate them and frustrate her so that she couldn't get into as good of an offensive flow, and I think Kia really did a great job.
Saniya said at the end of the game, when the starters were on the bench and the game ends, there was a little bit more excitement and more celebrating than normal because you guys felt like you proved something. You showed the rest of the country that you weren't going away. Is that true? I mean, what was the feeling like?
I think that she kind of nailed it right on the head, and I think that, we all were extremely excited, and we really do feel that we worked so hard to get to this point, and we did prove a lot of people wrong, so that's always fun.
How did you do it? How did you prove everybody wrong?
I think just using them as motivation and just knowing that we had so much that we needed to improve on. And every single game we played, we would look back and be like, well, we have a lot to work on still, and we wouldn't take it as like, we kind of were grateful for some of the wins we had at the beginning of the season that we came across with them, and then just continuing throughout the season to kind of make sure that every single person stepped up a different night. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that we have so many people that'll step up and so many different people that can have big numbers every single night. So it's been pretty spread out the whole time.
So 10 straight, it's not old hat, but there's some excitement to this.
Yes, there's definitely some excitement to that, and I think Coach is pretty excited too.
Can you talk about 10 in a row, though? I mean, that's such an incredible achievement. Nobody else has gone more than 5 in a row.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and it just shows that what they're doing is right. And I think the biggest thing they do is they try to recruit kind of the right group of people, and try to make sure that everyone is willing to be a part of this program and is willing to be fully committed and fully invested. No matter who's doing what, you're still here for the team no matter what.
How excited are you to see your sister?
I'm super excited. I hope I get to see her tomorrow. I don't know when they're traveling, but I know we're flying in tomorrow, so that would be awesome.
Can you talk about the start you guys had today? It was probably much better than the other day. You guys were awesome on defense initially, and then Saniya's hitting big shots. You were struggling, but everybody else seemed to pick everybody up again as you.
So that's good. We started off really strong, and I think we kind of felt like we had a great warm-up, so we felt that coming out into the game, and we wanted to make a statement at the first couple minutes and just keep it going from there. So everyone who needed to step up did, and it was a great team win today.
You talk about the job Saniya did.
Yeah, she was awesome. She's stepped up more and more as the season's come on, and even the beginning of the season, but this whole year has been kind of amazing what she's been able to do for us and how valuable she is to this team. We wouldn't have been able to get this far without her.
Obviously, you guys aren't big on team awards, individual awards, but what was it like to be named All-American today?
It was awesome. It was a really good feeling, and it was even better to hear that Gabby was second team and Napheesa was first team too, just to be able to see them get that recognition as well. It's awesome because this year's definitely been hard, and we've worked really hard to get to this point.
Thank you, Lou.
Thanks.
So,
Absolutely. What was it like chasing around in Eston?
It was a tough challenge. Obviously, she's a great matchup. She's quick. She reads ball screens extremely well, and offensively, she is a smart player. But it was a good challenge today.
What did you do that was effective?
For me personally, I tried to limit her touches as much as possible, trying to read the screens and understand the plays that we went through in scout. And my teammates did a great job of switching out hard, making sure that we kind of maintained that.
I was going to ask, one of the things the Oregon kids said you guys had Oregon so well scouted. Was there anything in particular, you mentioned the switches, but it just seemed like the passes that they thought would be there and probably were all season weren't?
I think we just did a really good job defensively of understanding when you're one pass away, getting the pass away, and try to disrupt their offense. That was one of the things we kind of placed the focus on, because they get open shots out of their offense. It makes a lot for them. So when we got in the passing lane, Lou and Saniya had a couple of steals, and it translated straight to offense.
1,000 points for Napheesa.
Not shocked.
she had like only 250 last year. To do what she did, I mean, I know it's a lot of confidence and she's healthy, but the confidence you guys have in her, what does that mean? What does that show?
I mean, if you want to throw the ball to Napheesa with anybody on her back, she's most likely going to score. And I think we've understood that. She's always in positions where she's successful. She's in positions where she's at her best, and she finishes and catches everything you throw at her. So.
Guards like that, don't they?
I love that. It's pure
What about Gabby and Napheesa, the way they stepped out and made some of those perimeter jumpers? Obviously, Oregon was going to give them that, and it makes them even much more difficult to guard those two when they're showing they can hit from 17 or 20 feet.
Yeah, I mean, in any kind of game, if you want to be successful, you take what the defense gives you. And that was kind of something you saw with Oregon State last year with Morgan. She just stepped back and knocked down a bunch of threes. And tonight, Gabby and Napheesa did that, and it was very important for us.
I'm sure you have no idea of this, but you set the NCAA record for most threes in the NCAA tournament.
No idea. I had that one game with a lot of them.
Yeah, we have 20 now. So two of the people that have that are named Diana Taurasi and Maya Moore. Just what about, I mean, how this has come together for you in the postseason? It seems like you've really hit your stride. Obviously, defensively, it's been there all year, but offensively, you're in a pretty good place right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this time of the year, you have to be in a good place. You have to go in physically ready and mentally ready, and I think just the confidence that I have in my own shot right now and the confidence that my teammates have in, getting it there and getting it on time, it's working for us.
We talk about pace of play with you guys a lot. It seems like Saniya has really picked up the pace when you talk like, oh, she's always careful, she's this and that, but now she's really How has that changed your team at all?
I think for us, understanding pace of play based on what game we're playing and what we're scouting. Obviously, Oregon's a very good half-court team, so we had to push the play in transition. And what Saniya is really good at is getting out in transition, getting a quick ball screen, and then getting to the rim, making a play. And I think if you have all 5 people who are able to get the ball up the floor, who are able to push it and understand the pace and tempo, it's a tough match.
So that had to be as tough a matchup as you've had, and yet you kind of handled that pretty well.
I tried, but obviously she is a tough matchup. The way she plays offensively, her ability to read ball screens, to make plays for her teammates and knock down threes, to have, trying to get the ball out of her hands, that kind of disrupts their rhythm. So I think we did a good job as a team defensively on her today. You're welcome.
3 years, 3 trips to the Final Four. Does it get old or?
No, never. You never know which one's your last one. So the fact that you got another one in your pocket now, it's pretty exciting.
You talk about the job Saniya did in the beginning of the game. You guys, your outstanding defensively. I'm sure that was the main focal point after Saturday's game.
Defense was definitely one of our emphasis things in our game plan for this one, but I mean, Saniya came out and was just lights out, and that's fun to watch. It's fun to see all that stuff come together for her, and she hit big shots when we needed her to.
Let's talk about you for a second. You're obviously known. You're the defensive stopper of this team. You did an outstanding job of shutting down their scores.
It was team defense. I firmly believe it was team defense because when people can switch out and the way we can change in terms of our defenses is definitely something that's helpful. But the communication behind me was really good today, and that's how I know when screens are coming, when I can deny, and that makes my job a lot easier.
And Gabby said you were actually the main communicator out there every other time.
I tried to be. I was like, get me out, Gabby. It's because I yell at them.
Talk about the start you guys had. Obviously, the start you guys wanted.
We tried to come out really hard. Defensively, we tried to be really locked in and force them to do things they didn't want to do.
What was it like to be named All-American today?
It felt pretty cool. I'm really happy for Katie, Lou, and Gabby as well, and Kia. So I think we worked really hard, and I think we deserve it.
Can you talk about the difficulty in preparing for a team in one day compared to a week?
Actually, we only do prepare for teams a day in advance anyway, so it was kind of regular for us. We kind of have that quick turnaround anyway, so it wasn't too much different than the season.
You guys set the NCAA record for most assists in the season. Is that something that you think would define this team, how well you guys share the ball and finish off each other's passes?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. With this team, it's a lot different from last year where we knew we could just throw it to someone and they can do whatever they wanted on the floor. This year we really have to move the ball and make teams play defense. And the fact that we're able to move so well, and I think a lot of those come in transition too, I think that's a part of this team's identity.
Saniya said that when you guys, all the starters, were on the bench waiting for their game clock to wind down, there was more excitement and more celebration than normal, just because you guys had a feeling of real accomplishment this season. Can you talk about that?
I think on the bench, it was like not any of us on the bench had been in that position before, where we were the guys who felt like we really did something that night. All of us we were all kind of role players last year, and we would just come in and add a little bit. But those guys kind of, it was their win, and we wanted them. We did it for them, basically. So it felt good that we kind of did something for ourselves tonight.
Can you talk about the defense and how well you guys played today? And so many people talk about the offense, but your defense was incredible.
Yeah, we took away everything they like to do. I'm really proud of how we scouted them and how locked in we were at shoot around this morning or this afternoon. I think with the way that we're interchangeable and we can switch out on everyone, it's really easier. It's easy for us to get into passing lanes, and we finally executed that tonight.
Is today more about 10 in a row, or one for this group that really had to fight an awful lot of battles to get here and keep that tradition alive?
Yeah, it never feels like a streak, and we get that question a million times, like the pressure about keeping the streak together and everything, and getting a record number of Final Fours or whatever. It's one. It's always one. We're always focused on one, and now we're focused on the next game. And this is our team's first Final Four, so that's what we celebrated tonight.
3 years here, 3 Final Fours. What's that like?
It never gets old, and each one has been a different experience. And I'm so lucky to be a part of this team. There's no other team in the country that gets to feel like this 3 years in a row. And I'm glad I got to do it with these girls.
Can you talk about the start you guys got off to? Your defense really set up your offense, and I'm sure that was one of your focal points for today's season.
Yeah, we wanted to set the tone. We knew that if we let those guys kind of get in a rhythm and on a roll, then they could really do some damage. And I think the way we started the game kind of disrupted them and kept them from getting that momentum.
You guys are wearing T-shirts that say "Cut the Net." Yeah, you didn't do it out there. Is that just that? That's what this program is about?
Yeah, that's what it's about. We don't want to settle, I guess, and it's kind of like we're just focused on to the next step. We know that there's still more that we have to do.
Coach says he usually gives teams an opportunity. If you want to cut the nets down, go ahead, but we're only cutting them once. Did he ask you guys about that, or was it just a decision on his part today? We're not done.
CD asked us on the bench, and we said we didn't want to.
Just because you do feel there's still unfinished business?
We haven't done it before, and we're not going to start doing it now. Yep.
Talk about being the All-American.
It felt really good, because that's not something that I kind of thought about all year. I never thought I was even on that kind of radar. So it feels just really good to get the recognition.
And to do it with 2 teammates getting first team, is that more meaningful as well?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely more meaningful when you do it with 2 girls that you've seen work their butt off all season, and they've been consistent all year. They've been the biggest players in the biggest games, and they deserve it.
You guys had a 4th player get to 1,000 points tonight when Napheesa went over it. How incredible is that? 4 kids in 1 year.
It's pretty incredible. I think it's funny that we didn't even think about that, and I don't even think she probably knew. Yeah, and I think that says a lot about this team, that we don't, it's nice, but we don't even think about that stuff.
Talk about the job Saniya did, plus Lou Saniya first, but Kia's defense as well.
Oh, Saniya was really mature this week. She didn't let anything get to her. She was really reliable all weekend, and when she plays like that, it's really, really hard to stop her. Kia today, she really locked in to one of the best offensive players in the country.
3 minutes.
She was our loudest guy on the court. She communicated, and she led us tonight.